Today we are going to talk about the Alchemy table. It is one of the most important tools in Undcember. You need it to progress, you need it to craft potions, you need it to upgrade a lot of important items. So I will talk about what I usually use it for, why mine never stops running, and some tips at the end. So let's see. The most important thing in my opinion here is the synthesis step, especially with the skill runes and the link runes. So this basically lets you combine 3 different runes into a random rune. Okay, nothing special here, so why should you do that? It actually allows you to craft skills that you cannot buy in the game and that don't usually drop. So that can be skills like seals. That can be also most of the really strong support runes, like link runes. Look at this here, you can see there's 3 different types. So magic and rare runes are a little bit special here, because you get one of these boxes after failed attempts, which guarantee you one of the listed rewards. So why is that important? Why not just run the normal one? The magic and rare ones are way more expensive to do. The reason for that is there's runes that don't exist as normal versions. So this rune, for example, only exists as a magic version. And this rune here also only exists as a rare rune. So that's why you constantly want to combine spare runes that you have and don't need anymore. Another good thing to consider is combining runestones. You get these from raids, and if you have 3 runestones that are kind of bad, you don't need them, you can combine them into random ones. This is just a tiny chance of getting another roll out of 3 runestones that you would never use, so it's a small chance to upgrade into a good one, but it is certainly worth doing, just for the chance of hitting a good one. Same goes for magic and rare charms. Magic charms I almost never collect, only level 6 ones, so combining these I rarely do, but the rare charms I do that all the time. Just click in free any charms and it gives you 1 random one. So that's a good way of getting rid of all the spare charms that you don't need and finding maybe a GG one. Another good thing here is combining chaos cards. You can combine normal cards 3-1 into blue cards. I constantly do this, like it's never not running on my character. Magic chaos cards go 3-1 into yellow cards, and yellow cards go 3-1 into mostly yellow cards, but there's a very small chance of getting red cards. Red cards can sell for a lot of money, so this is more like gambling. So I mostly focus on these 2 crafts, but you can also try to gamble. You have a lot of yellow cards, or some low ones like the tier 5s, tier 4s that you're never gonna run. You can gamble them and see if you hit the red ones. You can also upgrade the tier 4-1 with chaos cards here. You can combine 4 yellow cards into a tier 8, or tier 7s into a tier 8. Okay, so let's look at the next part here. You can craft orbs, that's going to be very important later on. These orbs buff your stats by 1 stat point, but you need to find a formula book. I myself haven't got one yet, so I cannot craft these, but later we will. Very important once you unlock that. You can combine essences, so if you have a lot of blue essences that you don't need, you can combine them into the stronger essences, very important. You can craft a trigger rune change essence. This is really good, it lets you change the direction of your trigger ability. So if you cannot fit it in your current slots on the skill tree, you can change the direction and maybe fit the skill that way. Rune Kando essence here is used for reviving your failed rune attempts. Rune Kando attempts, so once you need that, here's where you find it. And you can also combine the lesser magic upgrade essences into rare ones, so that's quite good once you get a lot of spare ones that you don't need anymore for synthesis. And my favorite craft here is the magic fixed essence. It lets you combine 10 magic birth essences into 1 magic fixed essence. This lets you target craft a single stat and is often way better in terms of finding, for example, fire penetration on weapons. This is going to cost you 10 birth essences for 1 item with fire penetration, and on average you probably need to reroll like 40 times with these, so you save a lot of currency by crafting these. Same goes for rares, but I rarely craft with rares. Mostly I craft with magic until I have 3 good stats. So this is very important. For essence pieces, you can also do that. I certainly never do that, so that's on you. Later you can combine chaos cards here, and you can craft these really good chaos cards. I haven't gotten there yet, so not entirely sure how it works, but that also exists here. On convert here, you can actually change the skill rune essence to a link rune, like link rune to a skill rune, and the link rune and the skill rune into a link rune. Yeah, and you can do the same with yellow essences too. And you can also craft more rune birth essences. That is quite useful out of your rune link essences, which are not really used a lot. So I like to craft these from these, since I have a lot of these usually that I never use. Since the goal is to have 6 links, and then mostly it doesn't matter in what slot which color is to me, since I'm not playing linked skills, so I don't use the rune link essence that often. Okay, other than that, essence bundles, very important craft in the game. They give a lot of money, like the birth essences are good, like most of these here are good. Sealed rare, expansion boxes are good, and the only reason you craft it is you can sell the sealed rare expansion essence bundles, or the sealed whatever, like any of these bundles you can sell on the auction house, and that is a very stable income of rubies every day if you decide to sell these boxes here. They sell really good. Other than that, you can combine random uniques out of 10 parts. If you have a lot of uniques that you're never gonna sell, you disassemble them, and then you can 10 to 1 into random boxes. So you get random uniques. It's a gamble which one you get, but you can get really good ones. So also a very good option here. You can craft upgrade stones here. Never used that before. And you can combine elements from the smaller into the bigger ones. The only reason you would ever do that is to save space if you are playing without the stash tab, or to craft these chaos elements which can sell on the auction house. Other than that, combining the elements is not worth it, just use them as they are. You can also combine all of your little gold finds into piles of gold bars, and the pile of gold bars can be combined into crafted statues. These can also sell quite well on the auction house. You can craft hyper regeneration energy, which is used for giving you energy for your relic. So if you want your relic more often, like the active time, then you craft that here. Other than that, there's formulas in the game. You only get 1 slot for free, sadly, but once you find it, you can craft 100, usually 100 of the recipe, and that's how you get all of these really strong elixirs, the immunity ones, and the magic and gold fine ones. So yeah, that is from formulas. And down here, you can transfer skill runes and transfer links runes, which is mostly used before you finish the campaign, since you can for free transfer one skill into another one. So if you have a 6 link, you can easily swap it around, try different builds. After completing the campaign boss, it costs some money to do so. So I rarely, or maybe never, used that before. But some people told me they swapped builds from, for example, Fireball to Toxic Flame. Then you can put your Fireball here and get a really good Toxic Flame instead. Same goes with gear, sadly. It is mostly used for making it sellable, because you can only transfer from the same base to the same base, so not really used that much, I think. RTL transfer is more interesting. You only transfer like 4 out of the 6 stats, so you can use that for gambling or splitting like good stats. I never have used any of these before though, since there's gonna be like a cost to it, and that's a little bit expensive. Yeah, that's mostly the alchemy here. There's one good tip that I can give you, and that's having a second character. And it needs some progression. You need to be at least in Act 2 to use that. But what you can do is you can also craft stuff on your second character. There's not going to be all of the recipes available. For example, Chaos Caps, that is locked behind quests. A lot of things are locked behind quests, but once you level up your second character, eventually you can craft a lot of stuff. For example, all of the basic potions you can craft on your second character if you have the gold to do that. But if you sometimes sell the piles of gold that the goblins give you on your second chart, you should have a lot of gold to craft like elixirs, or you can use that for rune synthesis. It actually shares the progression with your main account, so that's quite nice. And that's how you get another 2 slots on the alchemy table for free. You just have to remember to log out, log to your second character after like 20 minutes or so to collect your stuff. And you can also use a second formula here, which doesn't need to be the same. So yeah, that's how you can use multiple formulas at once. If you don't decide to craft all 100 potions and don't want to destroy the formula. So yeah, that's what I mostly know about alchemy. I really encourage you to use it a lot, especially if you don't have all of the link runes yet. That is really gonna hurt you later on if you didn't use it. So yeah, make sure to engage with it.